Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to yet another episode of Humans of Pesto. Today we have another human with us, one of my favorite humans, Kaushik Mohan, who is one of the graduates of Pesto. And Kaushik joined Pesto, I guess, a year ago or something. And after graduating, he started his own company. And having 6 months of grueling work and struggles and whatnot, he ended up joining one of my favorite partners, Opyn. He's here to share his journey with us, what he did before Pesto and after as well. Would love to hear it from him. Kaushik, welcome on the show. Thanks for taking our time.
Hello Ayush, excited to be here.
Yeah, 100%, man. So, Kaushik, tell us more. We are very, very curious about, who you are and where you come from. Before joining Pesto, what were you doing and what's your journey? Would love to get a quick background on that.
Yeah, sure. I was from South India, Tamil Nadu, Chennai, and
Nice.
my story starts my important part of the story starts from me taking B in one of the university colleges. I was I graduated in electrical and electronics.
Electrical, that's surprising. So how did you end up, getting exposed to coding and what really got you into it?
Oh, I had exposed to this robotics class where we need to program your microcontroller, to actuate the motors and stuff. So that's how I
Nice.
got into programming. It uses like C, C++, embedded C to code the controller.
Wow,
And
that's awesome.
yeah,
So what made you decide that you want to do that bit and get into web development, etc.? What made you get into that?
actually it's my girlfriend. So what happened is, uh, I got an interview from
Wait,
Zoho.
one sec. Girlfriend or wife?
It's wife now. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot
exactly.
this.
Very,
I
very, very important to remember this, man. I mean, I got married, sometime back, and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What happened is I got an interview from Zoho. It's a software company which I
Mhm,
have no interest in, and she convinced me to oh, go try it. Like it's just internship.
mhm.
Just try it. No bad in trying. So I did try, and I got selected. Apparently, web development is fun.
Nice. That's awesome. So,
So
so Zoho basically gave you like the first exposure, yeah. And
yeah,
did you join Zoho for web development or something else?
it's full stack, but I did most of my work in backend.
Okay,
Uh,
gotcha.
it's not like front end stuff, but it's good. I had a very good experience there. It's fun.
Nice. Okay. I thought you joined for your girlfriend, like.
After that, it's good. Like
Okay, got it.
that's definitely a push, but coding is interesting. Web development is fun.
Got it. We all need motivations in life, right, to do something. So I'm glad
Yeah.
yeah, it happened for you. But how's been the journey? How was your experience with Zoho? And yeah, how did your first couple of years into coding look like?
First year was very fun. Like I had to learn lot of stuff, lot
Hmm.
of stuff, and like it's super cool. Like I had a very good. They have a very good culture there. I got a lot of my friends there, and we used to have office is something different. It's not remote world, but it's definitely having it's fun, man. It's fun. So
Yeah.
after the second year I feel the like it's so monotonous. I stopped learning. I
Hmm.
got very comfortable. That's when I decided, like, let's do something else.
Gotcha.
Let's yeah, let's be scared again. That's what I thought.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Pushing yourself into the uncomfortable zone, right? That's
yeah,
more often than not one of the most important things in your 20s, for sure.
yeah. So when I was like looking for other opportunities and stuff, I saw Sumit's like Instagram post that he joined Pesto.
Hmm.
Me now there is other friend Rakesh. We were
Hmm.
close at Zoho, so we were like discussing most of the things like let's go somewhere,
Hmm.
do something else and stuff. That's when we saw Sumit's
Hmm.
post, and we were like checking through Pesto. Damn, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound true. So I called Sumit and like asked him like, what is happening. Is it even true? He said, yes, it's good. I can give you like 1 month time. I'm going to graduate. So if you can see, then you can join. So after a month, he got placed. Like I think he is the first to got placed in that
In his
batch.
batch. Okay.
Yeah. I was in Thailand at that time, so I came back. The first thing I did is like I asked my manager like I'm quitting. It's it's enough for me,
Sure.
and like yeah, that's the point that my life is changed, right? That's where I took the most bold decision in my life. Previous, I was like it's fun. That's the very important decision of my life.
Wow. Why do you say your life has changed with that decision?
Oh, after that, I became more economically stable, and
Hmm.
I got to learn a lot of stuff. And
Hmm.
it's not like you're joining like a new company after this. It's something you startup is different. It's very different than what we have in India. Like big Indian companies. It's totally different, man. Culture is
It's
different.
amazing. Yeah,
Educate like
absolutely.
the learning, everything
Yeah.
is different.
Wow. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, which makes you praise us, but at the same time, helps people really understand what is that different, right? Like, how do you describe different? Like, more often than not, we do these conversations with different graduates of Pesto and people from the community. But from like the outer world, right? It's really hard for them to understand. First of all, like what really about Sumit made you convinced that this is the risk which I want to take, right? So would love to jump into that, and then would love to dig into what is this different thing which you're trying to describe.
First of all, it was not like a big lose for me. Even if I didn't get a job in 3 months, I'm definitely sure I can get something. Like
Hmm.
I already have a offer for a decent package, so I thought it's not that big of a risk. It's only 3 months, and I have some amount of money to manage that 3 months.
Hmm.
Uh so yeah, that was in my mind. Like it's worth of a risk. That's what I'll tell.
Hmm.
It's like putting a long term money in a stock, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I, like the difference part is the most important thing I noticed is it's definitely gratifying. Like you will get good recognition there. That's very important, right? You will not even be visible in Indian companies, like overshadowed by your managers and stuff. Here it's everything is open, and
Hmm.
like you get to talk with like the CEO in the same call. Everyone knows what you're doing. Like everything is open there, and you will get appreciated if you do good.
Amazing.
That's
So you're talking about the company you're working at, right? Just to
yep,
uh,
yep,
Awesome. So let's talk more about the program first. Like you got into Pesto and sort of we
oh
were
yeah,
yeah, like I'm trying to look at this from like a perspective of someone who is considering joining Pesto, right? What
yeah, yeah.
is the advice which you would give them, like how to think about this? Like first of all, like people hear about a bunch of things, but is that even true? And second of
Oh,
all,
it's true.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, would love to hear some more things from your perspective that as a person who is at that stage
Yeah,
and is looking to make a decision whether to join Pesto or not. And now I think like earlier people had to leave their jobs. Now they can join part time as well.
yeah.
So what would be your perspective? How do you think about making that decision when you're thinking about joining Pesto?
Like now it's even cool. We don't even have to leave our job. That's
Yeah.
one less risk you're taking. That's good. And the initial months are very difficult for me. Like we have to like unlearn a lot of stuff. Like being on time. That's never even like we never heard that in India, right? We are never on time. Like nothing is on time in India. So that's there, and you have to unlearn a lot of things in programming too. Like previously, I don't even read documentation, right? I don't write documentation. I don't read documentation. I just I just paste the question in the Google, and I'll get the answer from Stack Overflow without even like reading. I can copy, and it will work for a
Yeah.
short time. It will work, but you will not have the deep understanding,
Mhm.
after debug things and write proper code. So that's one of the difficult thing I had to do.
Mhm.
But it's really worth it though. Like the initial months are so so what to say, it's so difficult to change your mindset. It's been there for like 4 or 5 years. You suddenly have to change everything, how you approach
Mm-hmm.
uh in like it's not only there, it's also in communication. You have to communicate a lot. It's very important in remote work. So that's what been teaching in the Pesto, right? So we never do that.
Yeah.
Those are something I learned there, and it was difficult. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it will be difficult for everyone, but it's worth it once you get the hang of
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. No, 100%. So tell us more about what, this was like the unlearning part, but in terms of three biggest outputs which you had from the program, which, sort of benefited you. First of all, did it benefit you, or we are just assuming?
Yeah,
And second of all, what are three things?
for sure. The first thing, like most important thing, will be like how you approach programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you read a document, how you
Mm-hmm.
understand a programming language.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't like you can like take that framework and apply it to any language. Like it's not like learning JavaScript, it's just learning how to code or how to understand things. So that's one of the most important part that helped me a lot. Second thing is like doing projects with your co-mates, with your fellows, and doing like fun stuff with them. That's you can learn a lot there. With the communication
Mm-hmm.
can be difficult. You will have some hard talks. Like you have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
In future we have to do that in companies. Like we
Yeah.
have to like even it's your higher manager or someone,
Yeah.
if they are wrong, we have to tell them. So that's we can learn that from the doing projects together, where we can work things together, how to work together. That's very important. So the third thing I would say is fun. It's definitely fun. Like you get to know a lot about remote work, exactly how fun it is, and how you can use it for that. Like it's if not for remote work, I cannot do this. I can't be in Australia working for the
Mhm.
same company. Like I can't do that. So that's really good.
Yeah. So you moved to Australia recently, right?
Yeah,
Awesome. And where were you before that?
I'm in India, Chennai,
Like
same place.
Chennai. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, 100%. Like remote definitely unlocks so many possibilities, and I think now it's getting streamlined, right? I think we have
yeah,
been jamming about remote work. I think you came in 2019 or something like that, 2019 or
yes,
20, and there was like, you know, probably people were learning about remote work for the first time, and
yeah,
our
then 2020
conviction.
happened.
Exactly. And then we had COVID and everybody is working remote, right? So I think you have been exposed to remote work probably way before most
Yeah,
of the people, right? Um,
yes.
let's talk about that. Like, what are a couple of things which you feel are hardest to crack, but absolutely necessary when working remote? Like, if you have to be really effective as a remote programmer, what would you
Oh,
do?
this I will say to almost everyone if they are doing remote. Work from
Yeah.
home is not remote work. That's not remote work. So like that needs like lot of us remote work need lot of async work. You have to do
Yes.
everything async, and you have to be like very good at communication. You have to like
Yeah.
you may have to type lot of Slack messages, lot of updates in order to avoid meetings. It's good.
Yeah.
Also like I would suggest to have like a separate workplace where you work. It can be a
Yeah.
coffee shop or
Yeah.
a co-working space or something, or
Yeah.
it can be a separate room other than your bed,
Yeah.
so it's not feeling working. Like that's
Absolutely.
very important.
Yeah. During COVID, I
People,
got like countless calls of friends who were just, people talk about Zoom fatigue and whatnot. And I've been
yeah,
explaining that guys like work from home, remote work, and work from pandemic, three different things, right?
yeah.
Um, can you just, you talked about asynchronous work. Can you talk more about that? What does it mean? What does it entail? And when somebody is wants to get started with it, like what are a few points to keep in mind to get good at
Yeah, sure. So async work is nothing but work without any disturbance, I would say. Like you
it?
will not be, but also without any help. Like
Yeah.
if you are working asynchronous, there may be a point where no one can help you because you are in a different time zone or others are like occupied with other work. But it has way less meetings and way more communication, and you may have like more independent work. So we have to learn how to work independently.
Nice.
That's most important. It's not like you can pair code like every time.
Yeah.
My
Ha-
coworker can be in like Africa
yeah.
or Europe, and they'll that's like
Absolutely.
important. Yeah.
So what happened after you graduated from the program? Where did you start working, and how was that
Oh,
experience?
that's one story. So I was keen into open source, so I was working on this open source library CodeSub.js, which is from Ukraine. It's so sad. It's
Ah,
what's
yeah,
happening. Yeah, the
absolutely.
founder is from Ukraine. Uh,
So painful.
it's
I have
having
so
a
many
death.
friends who are like struggling right now, and people who have
Yeah,
worked with in the past. It's absolutely, yeah, it's really, really sad
so
with whatever's happening.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was working. I was not working. I was just contributing for the open source for a month, and I just asked him like, if you have anything for
Hmm.
me, I can work for you remotely.
Hmm.
And luckily he was just starting up his new SaaS product, Testomatio. It's like end-to-end test management uh, product. So he said, if like, do you know Ruby on Rails? Do you know Ember? If yes, you can join. I said, I can learn. And that's how I ended up in Testimonial. It's fun, it's full stack, and it's completely new. Like everything is new for me.
Yeah.
Like Ruby on Rails is new,
Hmm.
Ember.js is new.
Hmm.
So it was fun. I was working there for a year. Then I went part-time same place, and in the meantime I was starting with my friends. That's new.
Amazing. You're
Yeah.
starting this product, right? Tell us more about that. You started up a company, made like a sick product, and how was that experience, and how did it change you?
Oh, it's what happened is after a year, we thought we eventually got bored from home. So we thought me, Rakesh from Pesto and Itesh from Pesto. So we thought we can like join again and do something fun, bring the old days back, right?
Yeah.
So uh, so like the first time the flight is started, we booked the ticket for Delhi. Like
Yeah.
this after COVID, like it's not after COVID. COVID is not over yet. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I agree.
yeah. So the first time the flights have started, we came to Delhi. We were staying in the same home and discussing stuff, and we worked on a like that took a lot of iteration. We were doing something for the schools and colleges, for the teachers and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we changed it to like a community project where like-minded people can join and talk about stuff. And it's for colleges too, but
Yeah.
it mainly like attributed to the community part of it.
Absolutely. Awesome. How was your experience with it?
Oh,
Some key takeaways.
yeah, that's like the most fun product we built in a very short span of time. So that gave us the confidence of building anything. So that's a very different product, right? It's an app. We
Yeah.
never exposed to that. We did in React Native, and we got a lot of fun stuff from there. And it's definitely the time management. I have to now
Hmm.
juggle two things without affecting the other one, because that's the one. It's the other job is paying me, right? It's paying my rent. But I also don't want to get that fatigue. uh,
Hmm.
that's very important. If you're working on side projects, it can
Yeah.
really happen, and eventually it can die out. uh,
Absolutely. Yeah. I think
yeah.
like, even if the projects die out, I think what it does to you is that it really sort of
Oh,
changes you in terms of, your
yes.
skill set, context, perspective, so on and so
Yes,
forth,
for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
So, like regarding skill set, you get to do a lot of stuff on your own. It's like only three people team, right? So we'll discuss constantly things, and we constantly read things again.
Hmm.
That's very good. Like you may have stopped doing, the learning part of it if you got into
Yeah.
job. So now it's kicked in again. You got to read a lot of doc. We were discussing about the AWS, the cache, the speed, the DynamoDB, NoSQL. It was so fun there. The non-programming part is the confidence of, like, the confidence that you can, like, build anything.
Yeah.
That helps in like a lot of interviews. Like, that eventually
Absolutely.
gives like a natural confidence. You don't even have, like, it's not even like an interview. It's like it's just a conversation, and you most probably will get
Exactly.
in.
Yeah. 100%. I think I saw that change happen over time as well. Amazing. So where are you working, and what's happening in today's world after that project? I think you ended up taking up a job. And how is that going, and what really made you move to Australia?
Oh, for sure. So after this, I joined a company called Opyn. It's a
Yes.
it's a DeFi project. We do derivatives, options derivatives. Now we released a new product called Squid. It's acquired
Mhm.
ETH. You want to check out?
Oh wow, that's awesome. I'll check it
Yeah,
out. Yeah. I mean, Alexis
yeah.
and Aparna are really good friends of mine, and would
Oh,
love
awesome.
to go through what's cooking.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing front end for a long time there. It's been a year now. Currently,
Hmm.
I am little bit learning the blockchain too, and
Nice.
kind of a full stack now, handling bots and stuff. I may write contracts in future. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's awesome.
So yeah, DeFi is like a good place to be now, in my opinion. There are a lot of things happening.
Hmm.
Cryptography is like everyone is talking about it. That's a good uh
Nice.
craze now.
Absolutely,
But
that's
it's
awesome.
like if you remove all the craze out of it,
Hmm.
decentralization is something like a worth thing to do.
Yeah,
Worth thing to be. Like now everything's getting cancelled.
yeah,
You may like everything can be decentralized in future. Who knows?
absolutely. I agree. I mean, with the whole, sort of Russia situation, one of the things which
Yeah.
I saw Balaji tweeting at, a couple of these topics,
Hmm.
that, like centralized currency, sort of ruble is like isolated now, and
Yeah.
people are finding shelter in Bitcoin. And I think like the whole concept behind crypto was to decentralize the power from like banks and like centralized
Yeah.
governments to people, so that there's a lot more reliability and stuff like that, right? Like I know that, very quickly it converted into like an investment center, and people started looking at Bitcoin for wrong reasons and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I think the fundamental concept was to decentralize that power. Awesome. So I won't dig into blockchain for now, uh,
Yeah.
because I think that's like a,
Yeah.
whole different world altogether. We'll probably have to shoot a couple of more podcast for that. But that's awesome. And Kaushik, any advice which you would want to give to existing Pesto students who are under training, or people who have been in our funnel and are considering doing the program, how to think about it?
People who are considering to do it, just do it. Just join Pesto.
Why do you say so?
Like, come on, man. Are you
I'm
serious?
flattered, but trying to give them some
It
logic.
that definitely changes your life. Like even if you don't get a remote job, or like even even if you don't get, I don't know, any startup, but it's definitely good. It's a good experience. You can. Oh, what's going to happen if you're like, what's going to happen? Just
Mhm.
try it. That's what I say to a lot of people. Just try it.
Awesome.
If like, I don't see the downside. Like even I started my company, that's what my thoughts like. What's bad going to happen? So
Awesome.
that's like the mode I'm living right now. So for people in Pesto, I I don't know. I think curriculum will take care of you. just have to give 100% of it, try to learn stuff, and don't miss to have fun.
Awesome. Yeah, having fun is definitely one of the most
Like,
important things.
yeah, like that's, yeah. So even it's like have some, you may have some pressure, but that's the fun, right? If you
Yeah,
got everything, it'll be boring. That's that's the fun. Like, I can relive again, no problem.
awesome. Coolio. Thanks, Kaushik, again for taking out this time and joining us today and sharing everything that you did. And yeah, hopefully we will see you going to more places and sharing your journey.
Yeah, it's great to talk with you. It's been a long time.